Hey, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the UbioLabs wireless charger. Now, these are probably most popular from being sold at Costco. This past December of 2018, as I was doing my Christmas shopping, I happened to see a 2-pack of these on the shelf. It was $34.99 for a 2-pack. Costco tends to carry really good brands, so I kind of trust what they carry in their store. And also, they have a very liberal return policy, meaning if for whatever reason you're unhappy with this, I could probably bring it back 6 months later and say, I just want to return this, and they would probably take it back. So I wasn't really worried about giving this brand a try, even though I hadn't heard of them. And it seemed pretty affordable. I've seen a lot of decent wireless chargers going for $30 to $50. So to get 2 of them for $34.99 seemed like a pretty good deal. Now, we're going to be doing a review of this particular charger, and we're also going to be covering things like, will it charge your phone if you have a PopSocket, which I don't have a PopSocket at the moment. That may be kind of telling. Also, will it charge with like a thicker case like a OtterBox, for example? So again, UbioLabs 2-pack $34.99. Shortly after these came out at Costco, a bunch of people ran out and bought them and went to flip them on Amazon for more money. And quickly you saw the price on Amazon go from like $50 to $60. Well, Christmas is over. There's a lot of sellers selling these, and I've noticed they've dropped the prices. So you can now pick these up on Amazon.com for about $32. So that's $2 or $3 cheaper than I got mine at Costco from. And there's some Amazon Prime sellers who have them as well, so you can get it with free 2-day shipping. I will link to where you can pick this up down in the description box below. So let's take a look at this, and then we'll talk about like how quickly does it charge, does it work on all phones, etc. So you can check the back of the box if you see this at Costco. It doesn't work with all phones. With iPhones, it's only like the newer iPhones. With Samsung phones, I know my father's got a Note 5. I know it works on Note 5 and up. And I want to say it works on at least Note 8 or at least Samsung S8s and up. But again, you'd have to check the back of the packaging or on the Amazon listing. Most people have asked questions, does it work on XYZ phone? You can see that. So, decently long cord, which I like, longer than your traditional, phone cable that comes with your phone. I believe they say this is 6 feet. I don't know that it's 6 feet. I don't have a tape measure to take it out and measure. But I got a outlet right behind me here, so we'll plug it in there. And, plenty of room here to, actually I guess not a ton of room, but we got enough room to make it over here to the desk. So, in terms of does this charge faster than being plugged in? Well, no, it doesn't charge quite as fast. I haven't really actually timed it to say, okay, once I set it on the charger, within 30 minutes from 5% battery to full charge, I haven't really calculated that, but it seems to charge fairly quickly. If you're going to be charging in a hurry, I know sometimes, I'll get home and I want to run to the gym, but I got like 5% battery. If you want to get a quick charge, plug it in, right? But this is convenient. Sometimes it's a pain in the butt plugging your phone in. I know with a lot of my phones, one of the first things to wear out is that charging port. So I figure the less times I got to be sticking either headphones in and out or charging ports in and out, the longer the longevity of my phone. I would make sure you only buy quality brands. The technology of wireless charging pads has come a long way, but in the earlier days and with some cheaper ones, it can cause some problems with your phone. But what's kind of nice about this, you're not having to find the end of the cord and stick it in. If it's nighttime and you're laying in bed, you're not having to find which way does this USB go. It's literally as easy as just kind of dropping it on there. And when your phone is charging, you will see, you guys can see that green indicator light right there. That will tell you that the phone is charging. You don't really have to be too exact. It's charging. You're not exactly having to set it like dead center. You get the phone pretty much anywhere on the charging thing, it's going to start charging. In terms of will it charge with PopSockets, unfortunately, not really. I love PopSockets. If you've never tried a PopSocket, try out a PopSocket. I see a lot of people who are like, oh, PopSockets, those are the stupid things that all the girls have, right? I used to think the same thing. One day my girlfriend's friend was over at the house. She had a PopSocket on her phone, and I was like, what is, this is a while back when they were still relatively new. I was like, what is that? So she showed me, and it is incredibly handy. Like, if I'm laying in bed watching a movie or something, being able to hold it. If I'm taking a selfie or taking a picture of a group, it allows you to hold your phone without dropping it, right? It goes right between your fingers. Unfortunately, the downside of having a PopSocket is unless you have a really, really large phone, you're probably not going to be able to charge it with a PopSocket. I like my PopSocket about right dead center, and there was really no way that I could place this on the charging pad to where it would charge. I did place it kind of at the bottom of my phone, and I was able, if I manipulated it just right, I could get my phone to charge with a PopSocket on it. But then really, again, at the end of the day, who wants a pop socket down there at the bottom of their phone? So I would say unless you have a huge phone like an iPhone X or iPhone 8 Plus or maybe like a Note, you might be able to get away with having a pop socket somewhere to where it can still lay on the charging pad. But generally speaking, don't count on being able to have a pop socket on your phone and use a wireless charging pad. So if you're somebody who can't live without a pop socket, you may want to pass up the wireless charging pads. Not just this one, but charging pads as a whole. As far as thicker cases, this is a pretty thin, pretty cheap case. This is like an AliExpress type case. I've tried a couple other cases. There are some heavy plastic cases. It still charges perfectly fine. Something like an OtterBox sometimes will cause some issues. You may have to wiggle it. You may have to get it just right. So if you have like an incredibly thick case or like a 3-part case where, there's a layer of silicone and then a layer of plastic and then something else, you may have problems getting this to charge. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this purchase. I like that I got 2 of them. I thought it was a decent price. I keep one by my bedside and I keep one out in my television room. I brought this one in here just for the review, but I keep one by my bedside and I keep one out in my TV room, right next to my couch. So, friends are over, my girlfriend, me, can just drop the phone on there and charge. So, overall, I think they're handy to have. Really the only downsides is if you have an incredibly thick case or if you're somebody who has a pop socket on your phone, you may have problems getting it to work. Overall, I would recommend purchasing the UbioLabs, wireless charging pads. I think it's a good deal. Costco carries it, so I trust it's a good brand. They seem to charge fairly quickly, and this is my first time ever having a charging pad, and it is kind of nicer than having to plug the phone in every time. And like I said, it will probably lengthen the life of your phone. So hopefully you guys found this review helpful. Again, if you wanted to pick one of these up, I will put the link to Amazon in the description box below, and you may luck out and find one at your local Costco as well. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button down below, and we will catch you on the next video.